Hi, River.
Hi, Carolyn. How you doing?
Nice to see you today, and I'm looking forward to you and I being together once more on a Friday.
Yeah.
And we're
yeah.
going to make our sandwich.
That sounds good.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of an unusual
What
sandwich.
type of sandwich is it?
Well, it's like I said, it's kind of unusual, but it's not so odd that people would think, I don't ever want to make that. So, what it is a tuna melt.
Okay. That doesn't sound very unusual
No.
at all.
Not at all, but it is. I did put, so here's the tuna mixture that I made, and I did put herbs of Provence in there with the pickle and the onion.
I see.
And also, we're using a special kind of bread today.
What is that?
Okay, it's called Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel 4:9 bread? I've heard of that.
Okay, Ezekiel 4:9. So when he said Ezekiel 4:9, he was quoting a scripture out of the Bible, actually. Because if you looked up in your Bible, Ezekiel 4:9, you would find the recipe, a bread recipe that the prophet Ezekiel had to make.
Oh, yeah. My dad read that to me.
Yeah.
The Bible,
so somebody came up with following that recipe. So this has been around for years and years and years. It's nothing new. But a lot of people haven't heard of it. Anyway, we're going to make it grilled on Ezekiel bread. And the butter mixture that I use to grill it, I've got this already buttered. This is salted butter with coarse ground black pepper in the butter and a tiny squeeze of fresh garlic. Not a lot of garlic. I don't want it to taste like garlic bread, but I just wanted to add a tiny squeeze.
It's going to be an ugly bread that can melt metal.
No, it's not. So this is going to go in the frying pan. So River, would you like to turn the frying pan on number 7?
Yeah.
Please.
Sure. So
I'm going to jump around.
Imagine.
I like it when he jumps around.
That's on 7.
Okay, so that's heating up, and there's already a piece of bread in there.
So how long do we need to get the thing?
What thing?
The oven. How long? I mean, the skillet. How long do we need to put it on there?
Well, that one has to heat up, and there's already a piece of bread upside down
in there with the
cheese. And so all I'm going to do is put the
I think it was Kobe Jack, right? Cheese?
No, it's pepper jack.
Pepper jack.
So we've got pepper, black pepper in the butter mixture.
Okay. Okay.
You are so silly.
Huh?
Anyway, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to spread very carefully. River, don't make me laugh. I'm going to very carefully spread this tuna with Best Foods.
I'm not making a sound, okay? I'm doing it for them.
Okay, don't make a sound. Pickle and onion and herbs of Provence. That gives it a special little... Okay, so I've got all my tuna spread on here. We've got the cheese on the other one in the pan. Right, River?
Mm-hmm. You should see the after recording on YouTube.
So I'm going to have River. Did you wash your hands?
Yes, Carolyn. I always wash my hands.
All righty. So I want you to take this over and put this on top very carefully.
On the pan thing?
This goes,
on the bread?
Yes, the tuna goes on top of the cheese. And then that's going to leave you with a buttered thing. So carefully do that exactly like I tell you.
Exactly. You got it.
On top of the cheese.
Top the cheese.
So now you have like a grilled cheese sandwich in there, right?
Yeah, just like it reminds me of the depression sandwich, but with Bible bread.
Yeah, Bible bread. Okay, so
heads cut off.
And this, let's don't cut our heads off.
Yeah.
Could you put this away with the cover? It's right over there.
Where is it?
It just snaps on the cover. Put that away because you can't
my mom
leave
has a lot of these.
Yes, you can't leave anything out with mayonnaise.
No.
Because you'll get salmonella.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's going to be our sandwich, and we're going to try that and see. And I also have a little surprise as a compliment to the sandwich that I'm going to introduce later.
What is that surprise? Oh, sorry.
I'm not going to tell you. Here's a dirty knife, dirty spreader, so you know where that goes.
Yeah.
Jump around.
It goes back in the drawer. No, I'm just kidding. Back in the drawer.
I don't know if you've noticed this little tulip I have on here. I thought I would try to decorate our space.
My nose has a tuna. Tulip. I'm just going to put it right there, yeah.
Okay, so
Put it out.
That is, I want to tell them about this. These are metal flowers.
Oh, what?
Metal. They're metal flowers, and
I actually didn't notice until you told me.
No, but if you look over there, I have a whole collection of metal flowers. You want to go get a couple more and show them? This is
How
my
about
collection.
How about we take the camera over there? Yeah.
You can take the camera over there, River.
Yeah, let's go see those metal flowers.
Okay. So last week we had fresh flowers on the porch. These are my collection of metal flowers.
Oh,
and
wow.
They're very hard to find.
Wow.
That's made of metal.
They don't look metal at all. Oh yeah. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
metal. So
Yeah. They're
get
metal.
a good view of that.
Yeah.
And
It got me touching it.
This is a rose.
Okay, that looks metal.
And these are metal daisies.
Nice. Look at that.
And this is a metal rose.
Oh, that kind of reminds me of the one you had with that metal vase thingy.
And this is a metal. This is my favorite.
What is it?
It's just flowers in a vase. But
They look like flowers from like a
a
cartoon or something. Yeah. Yeah, they look.
These, like I said, these are very, very hard to find in an antique store.
Wow.
I also collect Italian pottery, and this is Italian pottery with flowers from the 20s.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's you have a lot of old stuff here, huh?
I do, but that's all. We don't need to look at anymore. But that's my collection.
Yeah.
So let's go back to our.
Let's go back to the table.
Alrighty, now
we're back. Yeah.
Back at our station.
Yeah, we're back at our cooking station.
Our sandwich station. But I'm going to leave that little flower on there. And,
yeah.
So you want to just
my
check
eye's poking it.
Yeah, sure. He almost knocked his flower off.
Sorry.
But it wouldn't hurt anything because it wouldn't break because it's metal.
So
Anywho, how is the pan? Is it heated up enough to?
Oh yeah.
Turn it over.
It's steaming. Yeah.
Oh, we have to get the spatula out of the bottom drawer.
Again, you're looking for it. Okay.
Yes, and you'll have to dig around in there.
Sure. Where's? Oh, here's the spatula.
Okay. This is also an antique.
Oh, how old is it?
This is from the 20s. This is celluloid.
Wow.
Celluloid handle.
Just like those celluloid salt pepper shakers.
Exactly the same thing. So I like to have all these vintage things.
So I'm gonna go flip it.
At one time in Nebraska, I had a home that was a 1927 home, and all of my furnishings, I tried really hard to have my lamps, my rugs, my Persian rugs, everything was from the 20s. So it matched. Did it burn? Oh no.
No, it didn't burn. Don't worry. It's just a little toasted.
Oh yes, darn it.
Well, looks like we're having a burnt sandwich today.
It's not really burned. It's just.
That's what I said. It's like
Ezekiel
toasted.
bread is kind of hard to.
Ezekiel bread burns fast.
It's already dark and it's got those grains and things, but
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be okay.
That's what I'm saying. You just panicked and oh no.
Well, you said it was burned.
No,
so that scared me.
It's not burned bad, you know. Our videos are weird.
My mom, when she burnt toast, she would scrape it with a knife and then make us eat it with the scraped off burnt part.
Oh.
And we never liked it. We always thought, why does she give us that? We don't like that.
I like the burnt part. To be honest, I just like the texture of it, like you know. But I was trying to make you remain calm for the viewers, but I guess that's not happening.
Remain calm.
Yeah, like.
Here comes the sandwich.
Wow, look at that! Imagine you drop it.
There's our sandwich ready to cut.
Look at it's steaming. It smells good too. It smells like smoke.
I think it's going to be really good.
Smoky.
So, do you want to get? Now we need a knife to cut this, River.
All right, let me go get a knife. I'll just find a knife.
Okay, find a knife.
Oh wow, what's this?
Oh, I found this the other day in my bottom drawer. That drawer that you were digging around in.
Yeah.
This is a knife. When you pull it out, it sharpens, and when you put it in,
oh, it's a knife.
It sharpens.
Oh wow.
So it sharpens. So what's it called? A Sharpie?
Sharpener.
Sharpener.
Like that,
yeah. So we'll use that today. So pull it out. It's nice and sharp.
Knife.
Let's cut this. I want to cut this. My mom used to cut them at an angle, like a triangle.
I like to cut it in an angle because it feels good when you eat the pointy part.
Yeah, the pointy part.
The pointy part tastes good when you eat it.
Okay, well, good. Yeah. That's good that we both.
That's the way I like it.
That we both agree on that.
Yeah, that's my childhood sandwich shape.
Yeah, you know what mine was?
Huh?
My mother cut them in little
squares.
No, little long.
Oh, I know what you mean. Like for everybody to get it.
Yeah. Okay, so
party size.
It's nice that I have this wet paper towel here today, and I don't have to ask River to jump up and get me my my wet towel all the time. So they were done with
I
our
look
sandwich.
so weird. I would look so weird when I did that.
You look like a puppet.
I don't know about that.
A live puppet.
Bruh.
So are we ready to take a bite of our sandwich or should we let it cool?
We should let it cool. But you whisper.
Oh, I do have to tell you something. Before you came over, I had taken my dog Louie. I know you guys know that Louie's been sick, and I took him to a vet, an internist. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. He's a vet, a highly skilled vet from Germany. So I really trust him.
What's his name?
Dr. Sum.
Some.
And when I saw the word
Okay.
Sum, I thought he was Oriental, but he's not. He's German. So when we went there, he was so thorough. And here's what I found out. This is interesting.
What?
A veterinarian has to have more schooling than a medical
Louis.
doctor. Now, do you know why?
Why?
Why would a vet have to have more depth of internal medicine and understanding the body than a medical doctor? Why do you think?
I don't know, because dogs, I don't know,
Dogs don't.
they don't get mad. I don't
They
know.
don't talk.
They don't. Oh, I was going to say they bark, but I was kind of close.
So we can go to the doctor and say, oh, it hurts here and there. But a dog can't do that. So the veterinarian.
Oh, they can't tell you it hurts.
No.
They'll be like,
No, they can go by feeling, but no, it's so different. So they're highly, and actually, my friend told me last week that she had a friend that the doctors couldn't help her with her cancer. So she heard this about vets, and she had a friend that recommended this vet. She went to a vet, and the vet actually helped her more than the medical doctor. But that's another story. But anyway, so I did take Louis there today, and we've got him on a nice regimen, and I have a lot of faith and hope
wow.
that Louis is going to get better.
Wow.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, you know what?
Oh, by the way.
Wait a minute, I'll tell you something.
Stop whispering.
No, I wanted to tell you one more thing about the vet.
I was just going to talk to about Bob. Stop whispering.
Oh.
You're making it not ad-lib.
Well, we can't. We're trying not to be scripted, but I wanted River to. I
was actually just gonna bring out her dog Bob.
Yeah, because the vet liked the name of my dog.
I was gonna be like, oh, I heard you had a dog named Bob, but I guess it took a different little step to it.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
So now we're gonna talk about Bob. I did have a dog named Bob.
Bobbert.
And Bobbers. I called him Bobbers.
Oh, Robert Bobbert. One time I called this guy Bobbert, and he was like, I never got that before. All right, talk about Bob.
Well, what about Bob? So he was a beautiful, purebred lab, golden lab. No, not golden, yellow lab. It's golden retriever and yellow lab. Bob was a yellow lab.
Oh.
And the reason that we had him and found him was we were living up in Silver Lake, Oregon, and we moved into an area where there were rattlesnakes in the area. Lots of rattlesnakes. They even had signs, warnings, rattlesnakes. So our house was here in this field, and there was this alfalfa field. Didn't I talk about this before?
No. I mean, I guess.
Oh, man. Anyway, there was our house, a little house that was made during World War II. We rented this and renovated it, made it really cute. And then we had this alfalfa field, and then we had a ridge, a beautiful rock ridge. This was called Pitcher Rock Pass, where we lived. Ooh. Well, on that ridge lived hundreds of rattlesnakes because they were sunny. And so when they wanted to get cooled off, they would come into the alfalfa and get cooled off.
Yeah.
So when I told a friend of mine, they said, oh, did you guys finally find a house to live in? And we said, yes. And they said, where? And I said, out at Pitcher Rock Pass. And he goes, oh, wow, that's buzzworm country. And I said, buzzworm? No. What's a buzzworm? And he goes, rattlesnakes. And I said, there's rattlesnakes out there? Well, we didn't know that. He said, oh, yeah, that's, I said, oh, no. He said, don't worry about it. All you have to do is get a dog. And if you have a dog in the yard, the snakes won't come near your yard.
So that's where Bob came.
So the very next day, I was out kind of meeting my neighbors. And the very first neighbor I met I said hello, and we introduced ourselves. And he had a whole pen full of yellow lab puppies for $25 a piece.
What?
Oh, wow.
That's usually like $2,500.
They would have been, because he was selling them without papers, because his father was from San Diego and he was a famous seeing eye dog, his father. So he had, we got this beautiful purebred little baby lab Bob,
Baba.
for $25.
That's crazy. 25.
So we did have a lot of fun stories.
It's usually like 100 times that cost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No. And today, this was back 25, 30 years ago. Today, you can't get a dog for under $1,000.
You can't get a dog for under $2,000.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Those French bulldogs are super
really
expensive. But anyway, there was a funny story that happened when Bob was 2 years old. We'd moved back to the valley, the Willamette Valley, and we lived in a town called Willamina. And Bob had this beautiful fenced-in backyard.
You're talking about Oregon, right?
Yeah, Willamina, Oregon. So it's a half hour from the Lincoln City coast. If you've heard of Lincoln City or Cannon Beach or Seaside, this was in that area. But we were in the Orchard area. A half hour down the road was a beach.
Okay, nice.
So we just had to get in the car and drive for a half hour, and we were at the beach. But anyway, in that town called Willamina, we left one time. My husband and I left, and we left on a trip for overnight. And we left Bob in the backyard with his dog house and his dog food and fenced in. So we thought it would be okay, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Because he really can't, he couldn't jump the fence.
I don't know.
But when we got home, he wasn't there.
I know, like, leaving him alone. He probably, like, dug under a hole.
I don't know how he got, I'm not really sure how he got out. That might have been it. I can't remember, but he's gone. So I'm crying and everybody's upset. And so I had the whole town. This is a town of maybe 500 people.
Oh, dang.
And every morning, Greg would walk to the post office and Bob would go. Bob would go with him to the post office. So people at the post office knew Bob. Oof. So I put up a flyer, a picture of Bob in the post office that he was lost. And I talked to all these people. I went around canvassing the whole town, showing everybody, have you seen this dog? Have you seen this dog? So this one man, this is an interesting story, because what this one man did.
What?
Some people are very deceitful.
What?
So this one man said, oh, is that your dog? And I said, yeah, have you seen him? And he goes, no, but I'm a diviner. I can divine things. And I said, what? I said, no, I don't believe that. I don't want you to divine my dog. I'll find him. So I just left that man. And I'm looking around. And finally, the next day, the post office lady who was driving around delivering the mail comes back in her pickup truck with Bob in the back pickup.
Back in the back of the truck.
Back of the
Not
truck.
in the backyard of the truck. How is that possible?
I was so excited because here he is. She goes, I found him. And I said, where was he? Oh, you're gonna like this. So they said, well, he was down the street where I was delivering mail, and he was with these kids, a whole bunch of kids. And they named him River.
What?
Yeah, they renamed him River.
That's my name.
I know. And I said, River? That's not his name. This is Bob. So
this is before you knew me, though.
Yeah,
this
way
before I was
before.
born.
This was a long time ago. So anyway, we got Bob back. But here's the interesting part about that man. And I found out his deceitfulness.
What?
Because he was going to charge me a lot of money to divine the dog.
Yeah. I know.
So I'm out in that. I go into his neighborhood to visit my friend Michelle, because Michelle would invite Bob to stay overnight. Bob could go and stay all night with people. Wow. Because they loved him. Anyway, I'm in that neighborhood and I'm walking and I see the post office lady said, that's the house where those kids had Bob, and they named him River. And I said, oh. And then I found out that diviner man lived right next door and he knew Bob was there. That's why he did that. He was going to pretend.
Oh, he was going to pretend, and then he was going to charge you all this money, find him.
So that's our funny story about Bob. But one more cute thing Bob would do. When Greg had him in the back of the pickup and he was getting gas at the gas station, there was this old bachelor guy that was kind of a lonely old bachelor. And he'd be putting the gas in, and Bob would be in the back of the pickup, and he would be licking his bald head. And Greg would yell out, Bob, knock it off. And he goes, no, I like him to do it. Don't tell him not to do it. That's how lonely this guy was.
So weird.
So those were funny stories I had about Bob. He was so cute.
I don't want to eat the sandwich anymore. I'm just kidding. How about we eat the sandwich?
Yeah, I think it's cooled off. We can take a bite. So I want River to take a bite first.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
A tuna melt on
Tuna
Ezekiel
melt going in.
bread.
3, 2, 1.
Is it unidentifiable?
Yeah. It's
That's what it is, unidentifiable.
tastes like a breakfast sandwich.
Well, let me try it.
You try it. Oh.
Do you like it?
I don't know.
Well, chew it some more.
I'm not a big fan of tuna melts.
Mm.
Just to let you know. I don't know. Tastes like the inside of a farmer's market.
Well, I
It's
took
so
too big
so.
of a bite. I always take too big of a bite.
No.
Oh, what was that? What is that?
I have a chicken.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what?
Guess
The
what?
sandwich.
Wait, hang on. Just get a. I'm gonna drive you guys crazy with this. Hey, look.
Okay,
There goes
let's
the
get rid of
chicken. Yeah.
Louis looking at
Annoying.
that.
Yeah, Louis.
This sandwich is
Oh
It's
wow,
really-
you did take a big
really.
bite.
I know I took way too big of a bite.
Look at my bite, and look at hers.
And look at my bite. So the pepper, after you eat it for a while, then you taste the black pepper that I mixed in. So I mixed.
I taste the black pepper immediately, like
So
right as it came in.
Did I tell them how I mix the butter
Yes, you
with
did
the
at
black
the
ground
beginning.
pepper?
Yeah.
So you can taste the black. So it's like the salt and pepper butter.
Nice.
Because butter's salted, and then you put black pepper in it, so that's salt and pepper
Salt
butter.
and pepper butter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that is, and I like it. And are you going to eat that?
Yeah, sure. I
Okay,
would,
you
yeah.
can save these. And
I'll
this
save
is
them,
a little. This is also.
That's the surprise. I think.
It's also an antique plate.
Wow. How old is it?
It's from 1920.
Oh, I want to try one of those.
And this is these
What?
are dried apricots from Trader Joe's
Ooh.
with a walnut on top and a little.
Wow. Wow.
Remember what walnuts are good for?
The brain.
The brain.
Because they look
Yes.
like a brain.
They look like a brain. They're good for the
Didn't
brain.
have to cut me off.
Then I put a little bit of honey on it. So you want to be the where you take the whole thing. Don't put the whole thing in your mouth like you usually do. Just take a bite.
Come on, please.
All right, go ahead.
Can I have
Kimberly's over here. She's going to try the sandwich and the apricot.
You gonna cut a piece for Kimberly?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Here's Kim.
Ooh, let's try the apricot.
These are not bad. Honestly, I thought they were gonna be a little
So
worse.
it's a health. It's kind of a health.
I like apricots, but I just don't really like walnuts.
These are apricots from Trader Joe's. They're really good.
I don't think I got honey on mine, but I mean it's fine. I like it. Yeah.
So Kim, you want to try
It's
Byron?
decent. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's not bad though, where I can just bleh, you know.
So here's one for Kim.
The sandwich was alright. I'm not very much of a tuna melt guy or a tuna guy.
Not too bad. These are really good.
Well, how about I cut this part, and you guys I'll eat this, and you guys can have the rest.
No. So thank you for joining us.
There you go.
It's been fun talking about Bob.
Yeah, Bobbert. I haven't got that before.
I do want to tell you a sad ending to Bob's life.
What is that?
Like I said, he liked to stay. People liked him to come and stay all night. He was staying all night with my friend Dennis. Our friend, Greg and I's friend Dennis. And Dennis loved Bob. He just loved him.
So what happened to Bob?
Well, Bob was laying out in the driveway. They lived on a big horse farm. Bob was laying out in the driveway right behind Dennis's pickup truck wheel. And Dennis didn't know it. And he ran over and killed him.
Oh no.
And it was just horrible because Dennis was almost suicidal. And we were
What?
so
Is
upset.
it? That,
Oh,
what a weird
he just
story.
felt horrible.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was just
Poor Dennis and poor Bob.
Yeah, So he was, I think, 10 years old.
Poor Bob.
Poor Bob.
Poor Dennis too.
So I've had.
Must have felt terrible, and poor you. You felt terrible too.
I was counting how many dogs I've had. So when I was a little girl, I had a dog called Speedy Gonzales. It was a Cocker Spaniel. And then we had another black Cocker Spaniel called Buttons.
Okay.
And then we had a black American Spaniel called Lady and the Tramp. And she had all these beautiful little black puppies. Oh, I can tell it. Maybe I have time to tell another story. So when I was little.
Okay. We're already at 20 minutes on our third recording, but okay.
Well, this won't take very long.
Okay.
So we lived in Port Angeles, Washington. I was in fourth grade when Mom had Lady, and she had all these darling puppies. And my mother was married to a commercial fisherman in Washington.
Okay.
And when you're a commercial fisherman, you know what that is, right?
They go out to fish in the commercial area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that area up there,
industrial area,
the place that the fishermen went was Nia Bay.
That sounds familiar.
It's at the very tip. If you looked on a map at Washington, Nia Bay is right on the very tip on the Puget Sound.
Oh, that's
right
where
there.
I was, yeah, because I saw it on the Google Maps. I was like, what's Nia?
Nia Bay.
I thought it was Naya.
No, it's Nia Bay, and that's where they had the Indian reservation, and they had the commercial fishermen.
Right now, the closest Indian reservation to us is in the San Diego Mountains.
No, it isn't. It's here in the Imperial Valley. There's 12 tribes.
Really?
In the Imperial Valley, yes.
Really?
Really?
Really.
Well, I thought.
Well, I respect the Indian.
Yeah.
I respect the fact that they took care of this land their whole time.
Me too.
And all of a sudden they. Well, anyway, that's another story. But so in this, so my mom and Robert and her husband, my stepfather, and Suzanne and I, and Lady's puppies, went up to Nia Bay and we camped in a huge tent. It was a tent like the size of a house because we stayed there 3 months all summer.
Dang.
While we fished.
Dang.
And Mom would go fishing with him sometimes. So one time I was left alone. Suzanne and I were left alone. We're walking around the town, visiting with the Indian kids, and this one Indian girl let me get up on her horse, bareback, and
wow.
Then there was a lot of stray dogs wandering around town, and I brought all these stray dogs back to the tent, and I had each one of them laying in bed in a cot and playing with these dogs like they were toys.
Oh my god! Like they were stuffed animals or something.
And my mother comes over, let's get these dogs out of the tent.
Oh, let the dogs in.
Well, that was fun, but Lady was the sweetest dog. So then that's Lady. So then after Lady, I didn't have a dog because I went back and lived with my dad and stepmother. My dad wouldn't let me have a dog. Although one time I brought a dog home. I was out shopping with my girlfriend Sue Ann, and I found on the street corner these people selling these puppies for $5.
Wow.
So I bought one, and we took it home on the bus. And as soon as I brought it into the house, you know what my dad said to me? Take that dog back. And I was just crushed. I was just crying. I said, no, I want this dog. No, you take that dog. I said, but the people, I don't care. You take that dog back. My dad was strict. Loving, but strict. So I had to get back on the bus and find those people on Chemeketa Street in Salem, Oregon, with the box of puppies.
That's so cheap for $5.
And I had to give it back. And so the very first thing I did when I was 18 years old and I got married, the very first thing I did was go to a pet shop and buy a dog. Very first thing. But that's another story.
But you had to experience a lot of deaths with dogs. And,
see, that's what you have to do. And if something happens to Louis, I'm not going to get another dog because I don't want to ever go through this.
This is your last dog, right?
This is my last. Hurrah.
So how many dogs have you had in your life?
Well, did you count them? Okay, so we had Speedy Gonzales, Buttons, Lady, then Puff. Proud Powder Puff was her name.
How about that one dog that you had very briefly?
That was Pansy.
Yeah.
But Samantha was the next one, a Springer Spaniel.
Met them Chloe.
And Chloe the Bloodhound. And Bob the Lab. And Pansy.
Oh.
And after Pansy, the Shih Tzu and the
after
Yorkie.
Pansy,
And the Yorkie.
After Pansy
After
what?
Pansy, Louie. So
10 dogs. 10.
10 dogs.
Wow. That's a lot of dogs.
I love dogs.
And we had Mindy and Rainey in Savannah.
Yeah, my sister Suzanne copied us because we moved back to Washington and she saw our bloodhound and our Springer and she went and got a bloodhound and a Springer.
By the way, this is
Yes.
the longest video yet.
Anyway, we better go.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for listening. I think you'll like the tuna melt. You can add your own varieties of things to it. And then these apricots with the walnuts are also good. So thank you all for viewing us and listening to us rattle on about everything.
Yeah.
And
And
thanks,
also,
River.
yeah.
You're such a good boy.
Thank you, Carolyn. I'm glad that you let me come over here and make these YouTube videos. I was the one who told you about them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see y'all guys. We'll see y'all guys later. And R.I.P. chicken. Goodbye.